Hey, how you doing, Lauren?
I just got back from the gym, so I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I have to go up the stairs to get into the studio, so I'm a bit puffed out myself.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the potty.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
No, big fan of your work. I found out about you through Brooks, and then I also found out about you through. I also interviewed Logan, so I've had pretty much
Oh, yeah.
everyone on that set except for you
hmm
on the show.
Yeah. Brooks is one of my closest friends. We met on JPEG Mafia's album trailer shoot, and that was really fun. And Logan was directing, I believe. He's really great. I haven't had the chance to work with him since, but I hope we can work together soon.
Yeah, I was wondering how you guys actually met, but yeah, it was on the
Mhm.
set.
Yeah. I don't even remember where we were shooting. It was really pretty, but yeah, I met Brooks on set. It was a good day.
That's awesome. And so, are you originally from Texas?
I grew up in Sherman, Texas. It's like an hour north of Dallas, so basically Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not
and
going
then
to
I lived
pretend
in
to know where
Austin.
that is because Australians have no idea about geography.
Um, yeah, it's nowhere to go to for sure. Then I went to college in Austin, and then I moved out here a year and a half ago.
Really? Quite recently.
Mhm. Yeah.
And what are the acting opportunities like in Texas?
I don't really know. It wasn't anything I was pursuing there, and that's not even really why I moved here either. I'd been modeling. I got scouted when I was younger, and so I would do campaigns in high school and college, just kind of more for fun,
Mm.
and to like add to savings. But it wasn't anything too crazy. And then once I couldn't get a full-time job out of college, I leaned a little bit more into it, and then I basically was just like, "F it, I'm gonna move to LA and see what's up." And I've been full-time since. And then I started acting in like a year ago. But as for acting opportunities in Texas, I think it's good, but it's never going to be LA or New York.
For sure. And so the modeling scene in Texas, is that quite strong as
Mhm.
well? Is there a good scene there?
Yeah, a lot of commercial stuff. Some places are like their headquarters are there. So J. C. Penney was a big one for me. I would do a lot of stuff for them.
Yeah.
I believe Nordstrom is also in Dallas, or maybe it's Neiman Marcus. So you could stay busy with that, and a lot of commercials shoot in the South just because it's cheaper.
What's your degree in?
Advertising.
No shit. I mean, it's all related then.
Mhm.
Hey,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was on set for J.C. Penney, and I saw an art director on set, and I was talking to them, and I decided that's what I wanted to study. So that's what I studied.
that's awesome. And in terms of going from modeling to acting in LA, has it been a smooth transition?
Um, it feels like a natural progression.
Mm.
Um, it's kind of crazy for me because I never thought I would be comfortable speaking on camera. That's just personally. Smooth, I don't know. It feels like a continuation, but it's still a completely different world.
Yeah. In terms of like speaking on camera, were you like self-conscious of your voice in some regard?
Not really. It's just I don't just like there I don't know how to explain that better with words. It's just more of like a feeling. Maybe it's confidence, but also just yeah, I guess it's just confidence. Not
I guess it's
necessarily insecurity, but more so just like I can't do that. That wouldn't be for me.
I guess it's because of what you were used to, right? If you were modeling, you didn't get the opportunity to actually just vocalize yourself in that
Mhm.
way.
Yeah, but it's kind of funny when you start to think about it because I started modeling in still pictures, and then you start doing things like commercials where you're acting with your body.
Mm,
Then you start getting into music videos where you're acting with your body even more, depending on the music video. But a lot of people are getting into narrative stuff, which is fun. Um, and then you start talking in commercials, so you're given more of this scripted, version of a way to speak. And then you get into acting theatrically, where you can kind of bring your own
yeah.
into how you speak and then the character, which is fun.
That's such an interesting like trajectory as well. Like you're slowly building parts of yourself, like bit by bit, basically brick by brick. It reminds me of
Mhm.
like even like I guess silent actors when they had to go on to like,
Mhm.
sound movies and the transition some of them made it and some of them didn't, based off of
Mhm.
that. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
really cool. And so did you just I watched your movie, the short film The Diner last night.
Mhm.
Is that your first short film?
That was my first short film. We filmed in San Francisco in January.
Right. And
And that's the only one that's come out so far. I've worked on a few other things this year that are still coming out.
yeah, I checked
Um,
out your IMDb credits. There's like four Four things in the works, right?
Please don't check that out. Just go
It's all
ahead
right.
and
I can
delete
bleep
that.
it out. That's
Definitely delete that.
yeah, yeah.
Stuff I haven't been able to put on there yet.
Oh,
Also,
for sure. Just for anyone listening. Thank
for
you for
anyone
clarifying that.
listening,
Yeah. Was that the first one you actually shot, or whether
yeah,
you? Yeah. And
yeah, I'd been acting for a good month.
wow. And is there a sense of sort of prioritizing what the first one would be? Like, did you want to make sure it was perfect, or you just took it?
No. um, I did really like the script and the team, and everyone was great.
Mm.
There was some kind of choice in, there's always a choice in what I want to work on, and that just happened to be the first.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
It
it
was
was
a
good
cool
though.
role, and I think I mean, I'm not an actor. I always wanted to be an actor, but I really suck at acting. And I'm somebody who's very
How do you
positive about.
know?
I'm very positive about creativity. I do lots of different things. I play in a punk band. I do heaps of shit. But acting is
Who
like a
told you that
really
you suck?
yeah. Well, I just don't think I'm. I guess maybe I suck is kind of contradicting everything I'm trying to do on this party.
Mhm.
So maybe what I should say is I could do better. I could get more used to acting.
But it's yourself that feels that way?
I mean, if you watched any of the videos from acting
Like
school, you'd probably,
objectively.
yeah, objectively not a fantastic actor. But I mean, I probably didn't do it for long enough. Like I was pretty fresh to it. I only
Mhm.
gave it like 1 or 2 years. I'm not a
Mhm.
natural, is what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
Um,
It takes time. And like I said, with the natural progression of it all, being on camera is a skill, whether it's a picture or you're talking or you're dancing and posing in a selfie for a Wiz Khalifa music video or whatever it is, like being comfortable in front of the camera is hard in itself.
yeah, I was thinking about the way that you kind of do things and looking at all the other projects that you've worked on. You know how to like, I don't know how to word this, but you know how to like shape your face in very particular subtle ways to get an exact effect. Like you are meeting the target exactly, and it could
That's
just be a
really nice.
smile and like looking in a particular way, but you know how to do that. And it's like, it's the same with acting. It's about hitting the beats. You're doing the same thing with
Mhm.
modeling. You're hitting those beats.
Yeah, I appreciate that. A funny thing that I've thought about more recently, because I'm not trained at all, I've not taken classes. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing either. I'm learning as I go. But something that I do is I play different songs in the car
Mm.
and I try to either lip sync, basically lip sync, but like make my face make different faces so it gets used to being expressive. And so therefore it comes naturally when I start acting or doing
That's
other things like
that's
modeling,
actually that's really cool. I don't
like
really
working out your face.
I mean, I guess I can understand that. I mean, a lot of people who do like rock music, they prepare their
Mhm,
poses or whatever, unless it's like I mean, there's some people who dance in a more crazy way. Like Joe Cocker is like an example of
mhm,
somebody who did not rehearse the way he moved on stage. But a lot of people do. And like, if you want to strike a particular pose, you got to kind of
mhm.
see what it looks like from the outside as well, or do it enough times to be able to feel comfortable with that. And that's really
Just
cool.
learning your face, like
Yeah, no,
knowing what it's
I'm
doing and how it's
I'm
moving.
still learning my face. And because like I had braces for like 4 years and when I was a
Uh-huh.
kid and I never smiled, I never showed my teeth like when I
Oh.
smiled. So it's still something that at 29 I'm still slowly coming out of my comfort zone and learning how to do that. But it's so crazy, right? Because like you have the right to your own expressions, but for whatever reason you feel like, oh, that's not me. That's not how I would look. Why would I ever use that expression? But I mean, in
Mhm.
modeling, you'd have to learn how to do most expressions, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. And
What was
sometimes I completely miss the mark. I was on a shoot recently, for a shoe brand, and they were having me pretend like there was a fire in front of me. I guess they were gonna edit it into the like video, and
mm.
they were like, "You look like you're on drugs. Like, please calm down." I was like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm like in awe of the fire." And they're like, "No, you're not in awe of the fire. You just need to sit there."
Do you feel like you have to draw from, like, it's easy for you to draw from life experiences, or do you go into a make-believe place? I'm not asking if you do drugs, but I'm just saying, like,
That was not my intention with the shoe brand shoot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for certain things. I just did a callback for a movie this morning, and I feel like the reason why I got the callback is because I was able to cry on cue in my first audition because the character was so me. She was talking about some guy that was a piece of shit essentially. And so it was
Mm.
easy for me to like draw on that. And then there's other times where it's very not easy for me to draw on it, and that's where you have to work on it. It's acting.
Yeah, crying is very difficult for most people to do normally. I think that if we trace the statistics of how many people can cry now, not even on command, but just throughout their week, I think a lot of people are
Yeah.
quite repressed. And so the
Hmm.
idea that you could cry on command has always like boggled me. Back when I used to do acting, we used to have like I think it was like something to do with a lemon that made people cry. I don't know if that's like a technique or some shit. I don't know where the lemon went. I'm not sure what the purpose of it was. I do remember that whatever that lemon did, it succeeded because he did
Here,
cry.
squirt this lemon in your eye.
Yeah, maybe actually just pouring lemon in your eye. Although it was like for like teenagers and shit, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. Kinda.
That's actually really crazy. But I
But
guess, uh,
yeah, going back to the diner. In
mhm,
terms of, I think also something I resonated with it was the fact that yeah, you have this guy that's playing like I saw a lot of the comment sections in
mhm,
the short film, and they all were like talking about their own experiences, and they were like, oh, like
mhm,
my grandpa just lost his partner and stuff like that. But then so half the comments were about grief, and then
mhm.
the other half of the comments were about struggling to kind of like make it like, and I'm not even sure if specifically as a creative, but I think creatives can really resonate with working shitty jobs.
Mhm.
This idea that this guy is like a grandpa, but he's still working as a waiter is fucking, it really scarred me, quite significantly. Because I work retail still, and I'm starting to have gray hairs as well. So,
Yeah, I did. I noticed a few of those comments talking about that. Um, I I mean, I can't speak on it as the writer because I'm not the writer. I
mhm.
think it was supposed to be more endearing, but it did strike a chord with a lot of people in like a different way.
Yeah, it does seem like that with all sorts of creativity. Like you try your best to kind of have as much control as you can, but once you release it to the public,
Mhm.
you might have like accidentally touched on a zeitgeist idea or some sort of
Yeah,
frequency, and then apparently it did in that regard because it's all just about
yeah,
that. Yeah. Are you at a point now where you can do? You said you were doing it full time now.
yeah. I moved here with like a month set aside to just be like, let me see what I can do, and then I
Mm.
started booking day three, and I haven't stopped. So I've been full time since I've moved here.
And you manage yourself as well.
Yeah, I've had, people, um, mentor figures. I
I was
signed
gonna
to a
ask you
commercial,
specifically about that actually, yeah. Like if you have mentors.
yeah, I signed to a commercial agency in July, but I still get my own work.
Mm. And but specifically
And
with
they know
like
that. They know that.
that's all good. They won't come after me. I'm pretty far away, so they have to reach me by email and I don't check my emails, so but do you have like somebody who I mean whether it was at university or like a friend or like an older it doesn't always have to be an older person, but like a guru. Like do you have somebody that you can consult with in regards to creative stuff?
I mean, so that's kind of how the acting thing started. I was kind of approached and guided.
Hmm.
I'm not signed, but this person like helped me get rolling. He was the one who had actually gotten me the audition for the diner.
Oh wow.
So he's great. We still keep in touch. We were supposed to meet up last week, but then I got sick. So I think we're supposed to meet up again in the new year. But we meet regularly to discuss things and touch base on like what I'm up to so that I'm prepared to eventually hopefully sign with someone. I think our next plan of action is getting me a manager.
Yeah, 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 for
But
sure.
Brooks has been great. I do feel that way about Brooks as well. But more so in a friend type of thing. It doesn't really feel like it feels more collaborative, not necessarily mentor mentee.
See, that's what I think like 2020. I mean, this episode will probably come out like first week of 26. So we're going to start saying
Mhm.
2026 so I don't have to edit stuff. Not that I do. But yeah, like that's very 2026 right now that like your mates are your mentors, you know? Because I think back in the
Mhm.
day, maybe like even 40 years ago, especially with acting, I mean, longer than that, you would have like an older teacher. It's very much
Yeah.
like that, like, I don't even know if I'm thinking of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like Shredder, basically. Like, there's like someone who, like, there's always like someone that's like been doing it for years and years and years, and then now they're going to pass it on to the next generation, you know, out of kindness. But I think
No.
I think I'm assuming you're around the same age as me, somewhere in that ballpark. Like age
Probably.
reveal, yeah. But but I feel like a lot of us haven't necessarily had that. I definitely haven't had that. I've had some people throughout the years who have helped me with my visual art in terms of like conceptually or like a teacher that's pointed me in the right direction. But I've learnt the most from like my bandmates and from like
Mm.
other visual artists who kind of work with me and stuff like that. Like I've never had like that big kind of overarching like older figure. You know, I mean, shout out to my
Yeah.
dad, but you know, specifically in
Yeah.
regards to the industry that I'm in. So,
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I have that really. It does feel a lot more like community. And you start running into the same people all the time
oh,
at
really?
work.
Is it
Like
quite
pretty much
a
every time I show up on set, I know somebody.
really? It's a tight knit scene.
It becomes that way if you do it enough, yeah.
Wow, that's actually cool to know. Maybe I'll move to
It's
LA.
fun. It's
They need
fun.
tall people, right? I assume. Well, they
Oh,
probably
for
have
sure.
heaps of tall people. I don't.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So you've worked with like a lot of people that I admire. I assume it would like still be a big shock, or are you like used to it now? Like when you meet someone and you're like, "Holy crap! Like that's the guy. That's the person."
Mhm.
Like Beyonce.
Um, yeah. I mean, a lot of times I don't you're not interacting with them directly.
Mhm.
And I don't approach just out of respect for
Oh,
who we're
really?
working with. No, definitely not
For
her.
sure. That's cool though.
Um, but do I still get starstruck? No. Not really. It's more so I'm excited about the project than the person. It
Mm.
becomes very normal.
It would have to. Otherwise, it would completely interfere with your practice.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's certain ones that like you're specifically fans of that like really is crazy and that's cool to see them. But I'm not like it doesn't freak me out. It's just kind of like
Yeah. Well, I
cool.
mean, yeah, literally, it shouldn't. You're not going to get another chance. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of the professionalism, I suppose.
Mhm.
The Tame Impala one is like really fascinating to me because
Mhm.
there aren't that many like people in that video. Like, yeah, you are on that chair. And the first time I saw it, I didn't see you there, and then I followed your account. I was like, what the fuck? I went back and watched it. I was like, holy shit.
Mhm.
For a role like that, I mean, I could easily ask you to tell me like how was Kevin, but I'm not gonna ask you like if he was nice or whatever on set or if you spoke to him. That's a bullshit. You know, it's not journalism, right? This isn't TMZ. It's an independent podcast. But in terms of that specific role where you are talking to that person on that
Mhm.
bench, is there, I assume that you would put as much work into that character, even if you're only there for like a second. You would put into, did you put like a whole backstory into like who you were and why you were on that bench and like what the conversation was about? Or was it just improv?
Very much just talking. We're just talking
Really?
about like getting to know each other in real life. Yeah.
And,
That was a crazy one. I was really excited to book that job. The reason why I would even post something like that is because I do like
Mhm.
Tame Impala.
Mhm.
I don't like I wouldn't you can't really see me, so that's like the thing. But no, we weren't even supposed to sit there. That was kind of a last minute switch up. And then we were sitting there and then we filmed and then it was over. We were talking about beef jerky, I think. Yeah. Um,
True. Yeah, because I
yeah.
have to go back and actually like watch the video again. But from memory, that video, I mean, it is just, I mean, it's not him, it's the guy from Stranger Things, right?
Yes, and then at the end they like
Switch.
cut and you can see that it's supposed to be him at like a younger
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, no, that is such a sick video as well.
Hmm.
I definitely, yeah, recommend people who haven't seen it to watch it and look
Hmm.
specifically for Lauren on the bench talking about beef jerky. That's awesome. But do you find that in other instances, maybe like you would, even if the role is quite like it's like a cameo or like a quick kind of bit, that you still have there been times where you've like gone full method into it and just been like, I am this person, I am this character, or just more conversational?
Oh man, that's a hard one. It all so much just depends on what the job is. I would never say full method on a whole lot. There was a music video I did where I had to kill for people. So that was kind of like you had to really get into that
Which video?
um, aggressiveness. It was for a metal band.
True. You had to kill four people.
So I was covered in blood and like swinging this sword around and stabbing people. That one was fun. You still get to bring your own stuff. Like I convinced them to film me doing like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre swing with the sword, and they ended up like using it.
Oh, really? You mean like
Um,
the Leatherface dance at the end?
yeah,
Oh,
I
you
convinced them
recreated
because
that
I
with
was
the so that's so sick.
I really wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do that. Um, that's pretty like you had to really get into that. When it's really hyper emotional things, I feel like that's when you have to really fully dive in. When it's something like sitting on a bench, I don't even know if I'm going to actually be seen. A lot of times you don't know because that was technically just a background role.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was park bench girl. There's other times I'm trying to think like this is a good practice of me, like what I can talk about publicly. Because when if you were if we're off the record, I can tell you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
certain things or maybe not. But there's times where you're given a role and you're doing the role, and that's that. But
Yeah.
a lot of the times it's very much me. Like I'm a dancer, or I'm flirting with someone, or I'm whatever. But when I'm killing somebody, or when I'm trying to think of something else recently that was more um, like a character. Yeah, I and I think it's just like being super emotional is when you have to get into it for me at least.
I mean, you could be thinking about beef jerky too, though, when you are about to
Yeah.
kill somebody. But I mean, I wouldn't assume that that's what you went for. But that's really cool. I mean, look, like yeah, like if you are doing more background work at times, you obviously have that risk of being cut. But I've heard of like main actors who were like I know the story of like Adrian Brody. And I
Mhm.
can't remember the movie, but it's on a Terrence Malick movie early in his career, and he was billed and he did a whole like advertising campaign on how he was like the leading man in this Terrence Malick movie. And then he did the red carpet, he did all the press for it, and then he eventually got cut from like basically the entire movie. Like, and he didn't
Uh-huh.
get told, so he only found out at the screening, which is
Sounds about right.
yeah. So if it could happen to Adrian Brody, it can fucking happen to anybody, you know?
For sure. Absolutely. I've seen some clips recently where some like people will be having a watch party for a show that they did.
Mm.
And then it'll come up and they like recasted the role and it's completely someone else. Like
It's
even after they've
horrific,
already filmed it.
horrific, horrific.
Crazy.
But I mean, I can see how that happens. Like, I recently started like an R&B, like Joji sort of like project, and we were supposed to play this like big event here. I probably shouldn't even be talking about this, but we weren't billed as like the main act. We were just like a secret headline, and we were like, oh, all our mates, like, you should come, but we can't tell you why, but we did tell them why. And then like
Hmm.
an hour before playing, they're like, nah, the co-organizer didn't even fucking tell the other guy about it, so you're not playing. And I was like, Jesus fucking
Damn.
Christ. Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
never know
brutal.
till you know. And then even sometimes like as an artist, especially when it's not like yours, it's hard to share.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation right before we got on the phone. One of my music videos that I had done got taken down, and I think it was like a copyright issue, and that was
Oh,
before I knew that you had to replace the song. Like you can't just use the music video audio. You have to like put their music, which is really hard to match up sometimes,
of
especially if you're
course.
trying to do multiple clips. And so it's like I can't even show it's hard to show your own. It's not mine though. Like I keep tripping up over my own words because it isn't mine. Like I am girl number three in this video, and then it makes it hard to share your own.
Which is strange because I mean, if you think about like art as a collective activity, sure, it might not be your idea in principle,
Mhm.
but you are definitely a part of. It sounds weird to say like the feng shui or the tapestry of the picture, but you were like, you could
Mhm.
argue that you're as much a part of that video, any video, as anybody else. Everything that's in that frame, in the, in the, like anything, any aspect of the mise en scène makes the piece. But it is
Yeah.
strange. Like the idea of ownership over art is so strange, isn't it?
Mhm.
Because it's for
It's so
everyone, right? And
frustrating.
it's,
Because now I'm like,
yeah.
how do I fix it? Is that just like gone? And then in the end of the day, it literally doesn't matter. It's Instagram and no one cares except for me. So no one's thinking about what I posted in February.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, unfortunately. But I think
Um,
that's, yeah, it is interesting to think though, like, do you want to be in a position where you like have more like I guess like directorial control over a production? Like, do you want to shoot your own movies, shoot your own videos?
I've been thinking about it a lot more recently. Um, I don't know how that would manifest. I don't think I know my place in that yet.
Mm.
Uh, I do think I would like to direct, but that just seems like a lofty thing to say. So I've been thinking about writing like a short film and like self-directing it and just doing something on my own, but I don't really know where to begin. I think I'm it's just like in the baby stages of ideas of wanting to start going on that side of things also.
Would
But
there
not super
be like
into.
a sense? Would there be a sense of like because you are working on such like high budget
Mhm.
productions, you're surrounded by like insane equipment, insane actors and actresses, like some of like visual like VFX and just like crazy budgets. Is there a sense of like fuck, if I just grabbed a camcorder or a Sony A7 III and like shot something, it would maybe be difficult to kind of like match up with the certain like levels of budget that they have or not? You don't.
Yeah, no, I literally was thinking about like my iPhone and like VOing a lot of it and playing with that. No, I don't. It's not the important to me in that kind of way right now. It's just more so like
No.
exercising that part of my brain, how to translate creative ideas into.
Yeah, it is. It is something that I like. I always wanted to be a director, and even though I do direct music videos for people here, I was still very skeptical about doing it. So I just did every other career choice possible, even even journalism or animation, like anything to not have to put my name on a directorial feature, because that's all I wanted to do. When I was a kid, I was like, I'm going to be a director. Or I'm going to be a writer, but being a writer is a very difficult thing to own because everyone writes. So at which point
Yeah,
do you have to be published to be a writer? Do you have to have your
writing's
art seen to be an
hard.
artist? It's really difficult, but I think what I've learned is like, actually, it's the same rule that I applied to music. Not necessarily dumbing down the content, but maybe kind of making things a little bit less cerebral in a way, getting the
Mhm.
brain out of it and kind of
Mhm.
even focusing on aesthetic doesn't have to be a dumbing down of the concept. You can just have your own unique spin on something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick production. He had a lot of people assisting him to get that big brain of his, onto the screen. Like we don't have that many people helping us on our projects, so maybe we can just be happy with 80%, of what we wanted,
Mm.
or 85% of our intended vision. That's enough, and it's on to the next project. And I think that's that momentum that we need to kind of like do. I guess like for
For sure.
filmmaking, especially. That's what I've started doing.
Yeah, I
You
think the big
mentioned
thing is just
Texas Chainsaw Massacre before. Are you
Mhm.
a horror person?
Yeah, I love psychological thrillers mostly, not typically gory stuff like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but that's a good one.
Yeah. What's like your top five psychological
Please don't do this
thrillers?
to me. Um, that is something that I'm still self-conscious about is sharing my opinions about what I like creatively, because I feel like especially here it's judged very heavily. So
Ooh, yeah.
I like a lot of things. I just saw this
That's
movie
true.
called Room Temperature with Brooks, and it was really great. That was a great movie
That's I haven't heard of that movie, but I
on Tubi.
have heard of that concept. Like the idea of because here, that's such an interesting point. Like here in the music scene, if you're opinionated about what you like, I mean, ideally you should be able to, right? Like we're all
Mhm.
opinionated, but it's funny even seeing like if you do it here, it's kind of more acceptable. I mean, every band talks shit about other bands. It's actually not a good thing. Like it's actually a bad thing for creativity, but it's the nature of the scene, right? It's very cutthroat, and there's not a
Mhm.
lot of opportunities. Whereas I feel like in LA there might be more opportunities, and so you have to be more careful in that regard. But I mean, like you look at like the recent Tarantino like thing where he's like shitting on Paul Dano, and like
Mhm.
and that that's like a high grade director, like one of the most famous of all time living directors, and he's just taken like a huge and everyone's just like gone crazy at him and gone like anti Tarantino because everyone loves Paul Dano because of course it's fucking
Yeah.
Paul Dano. But it's weird, right? Seeing like big people do that. It's like the
Mhm.
Oasis thing, you know. There's a certain level where I feel like you can get big enough where you can just do that, but not everyone is in that boat, and you don't. I wouldn't be able to tell you what level you have to be able to survive that onslaught of negativity.
I don't know. I don't know why it starts, and it almost feels like a floodgate because obviously someone was saying it before yesterday or the day before that when
Mm.
it all started, or last week whenever I heard about it. But like, how much did that have to build up for finally everyone to be like, "No, Quentin Tarantino." I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
so.
enough.
Like all of a sudden, just like I open my phone and some guy from the office is like, "I hate that guy." How'd that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's just yeah, a lot of people just kind of tolerated a lot of the hot takes. I mean, I like him. I have his book, you know, I think he's cool, but yeah, I think people tolerated it. But then he went for the most like innocent looking dude in Hollywood. Like this guy's like the nicest. He looks like a sweetheart. I don't know if he actually is. Maybe he's crazy, but like he's such a nice guy, and I think the internet was like, no, we're done.
We're not doing this today.
It was the final straw, yeah. Is there any kind of role or like that you wouldn't go for no matter what? Are there sort of limits to what you would or wouldn't do?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's certain things like that could be highly offensive that I wouldn't want to
Hmm.
do or portray. But for besides that, I'm
Yeah.
pretty open-minded about things right now because I don't think I know what I would say no to yet. It's still in the very beginning of like exploring what I like and don't like and characters that I feel connected with versus don't and scripts that I feel connected with versus don't. Um, so I would say
True,
open-minded
I guess if
overall, but there's things that are inherently bad that I wouldn't want to portray.
yeah, 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 of course. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's I guess because like being with acting, it's like well, I guess like being in movies and stuff, it's like early days, so you would probably be open to a lot more stuff than you
Mhm.
know if like maybe 2 years or 3 years down the line, you'd be like, oh, actually, I'm more of a this kind of actor or that kind of actor. But it's nice to kind of cherish those like early days where like you
Mhm.
just experiment and there's no like sense of ego in it,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah,
cool.
I'm just excited for opportunity, really.
Are there any people growing up that you were really inspired by or influenced by? Models, actors?
I mean, coming from Sherman, Texas, I was inspired by America's Next Top Model. Like me and my friends would watch it and we'd all want to
True.
we wanted to model because of that show. I wasn't super ingrained in the culture at all. Yeah, I don't think there's any one person that I'm just like super inspired by. I think I take small things from a lot of different people, and it changes over time.
And why did you go into advertising in the first place?
I was on set on a JCPenney shoot, and I
Oh, that's why,
met an
yeah.
art director that I wanted to do their job, so that's what I studied. Not knowing anything about the creative, anything creative. Sherman, Texas, people don't do this. Like, it's not. No one's coming from Sherman, Texas to be. Well, not no one. I won't say that, but it's just not a thing that's like made to be something that you think that you can even do. Even advertising is like different a little bit, you know? Like working at a creative agency would be kind of different than,
Really, like still to this day.
yeah.
True. I mean, I kind of get that. I could say the same thing, unfortunately, about Australia.
Hmm.
I mean, it shows. Like we've had some great movies in the past, and like our film industry is cool, but we just don't have the. I mean, we don't have the economic structure that America or the US has. So there is
Hmm.
like Australia kind of is like a cultural wasteland, and me and my mates are just kind of navigating the debris. It's there's nothing
Yeah.
like I guess I have family in like Washington DC, and in many ways I kind of wish that I could go from state to state and just kind of
Hmm.
be like, oh, this state isn't working for me. I'm going to go somewhere completely different. But you can't actually do that in Australia because there's no. You go to a different state, like say Brisbane, for example. The people are nicer. You know, I'll go on record saying that Brisbanians are way nicer than Melburnians because they are. Um, but it doesn't necessarily mean that like the culture or the infrastructure for being like say a musician in Brisbane is that different to being a musician in
Yeah.
Melbourne. It's all kind of the same thing with a different tone. Whereas I feel like from what I've heard about the US, it's a pretty wild kind of like switch.
Yeah, the first couple times after even going to from Austin back to my hometown for a while, it feels very odd. And now being here and then I go home and there's nothing. And you turn on the news and it's like, here's the new Taco Bell item. I'm like, oh, I can't even believe I grew up there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you feel like a local in LA now?
Who does?
You. Do you feel like you're
Um,
like,
uh, I guess I don't know. I honestly don't really know. Yeah, yeah, I don't know how to answer that.
yeah, yeah. No, because I also want to go to, I was speaking to Brooks about it, like go to LA, go to New York and get really familiar, but I don't like being a tourist, like anywhere I go. Like, even if I'm there
Hmm.
for 5 days, like I want to know the insider spots. I want to be one with the people.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
I
LA
feel,
I've been to
I feel.
before twice in my life, but I don't remember. I don't remember much from that trip.
Oh,
I went to Disneyland for like
okay,
3 days and I went to a mall and the beach.
yeah. Yeah, the weirdest part about all of this is like when I would visit LA, I would be like, I'm never gonna move to LA. I hate LA. I don't want to live here. But I'd already done New York for a bit, and I knew that I wanted to live in a big city, so I just, like I said earlier, said F it and moved here. Living here is so much different than visiting. I like it a lot better. And I feel like a local in a way, but it's hard to feel that way here ever, I think.
True. Like you never feel like you're quite, I guess, yeah, at home there. I mean, I feel the same with Melbourne. Like I've been living here I'm from Argentina, but I've been living
Hmm.
here for 25 years and I
Hmm.
still feel like a tourist.
Hmm.
At least, yeah, I've never felt like I feel like I know the spots and stuff, but I'm also getting older, so I'm getting out of touch with the things that kind of made the culture for me in my early 20s as well. So I can't really recommend, like, I work with like younger mates and they're like in their early 20s and they're like, oh, like, what are your favorite bars? Like, what's your favorite spots? And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I didn't know the answer to that then. I don't know the answer to that now. Damn.
Yeah, it's just like it's like complicated because there's so much and you start to get into your routine of things, but you can change it immediately. Like if I just wanted to completely change the way my life is tomorrow, like I can do that here. Like I could change everything about what I'm doing instantly. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, there's just so much opportunity and
It
different people
does,
to talk
yeah.
to.
It's also like a very inspiring thing to hear. I'm a very burnt out person. That's why I made this podcast, speak to people in other countries, while I'm landlocked here. And I'm not painting a very good image of Australia, but this podcast isn't fucking sponsored or any of that shit, so it's fine. But it's really nice to hear that from someone who's practicing, in the creative fields because you wouldn't hear again, you would not hear anyone say that here. Like if you want to change who you are here, the best you can do is get like a balayage, or like bleach your hair, but you're still the same guy. You can't escape, the culture. And
Maybe
the
you can.
opportunities are
Maybe it's a
so
mindset.
new. I hope so, Lauren. I really hope it's a mindset thing. And I think it is. I think a lot of this stuff does come down to kind of how you approach it. Like, there are probably like really good opportunities here. You just need to have a level of energy that's quite high and a level of positivity and optimism that's quite high to be able to never
Yeah.
get like but that's really difficult in some areas. Like in punk rock, you use that energy to make songs. You write lyrics about those things and then you perform those things sincerely. And that means
Mhm.
that like yeah, you are constantly I guess it is like you're creating that kind of like circle of negativity without even knowing it. Like you're trying to fight the
Oh,
power or whatever, but
I totally get you. I
yeah.
mean, it becomes, I hate to even use a negative word, but it is exhausting because by the time it becomes time to do the creative thing that you have been working all this time to set up, you're like, I'm tired. I'm so
Yeah.
tired. And then I have to get up and do it
Yeah.
again tomorrow, and it never stops.
No, it happens a lot in terms of like you make something with a certain kind of energy and you want to release it immediately and you're so happy about it. I'm sure you can relate. Like you do
Mhm.
it, a modeling thing or an acting thing where you're like, wow, like that really represents how I feel right now. It doesn't inherently mean that you're going to feel that way in 3 months or 3 years
Mhm.
when the thing actually gets released. And it's a shame. I mean,
Mhm.
things do take time. A movie takes time to get edited and color graded and,
Oh my God.
promoted and all that kind of stuff. Songs need to be mixed and mastered. But it is a shame that we can't speed that process up just a little bit so that we could become in sync, with our
Mhm.
art a bit more. At least with the way that our art is received by other people, because I don't know if it's the same for you. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, because I have bandmates who don't feel a sense of urgency with the art. Like,
Mm.
you make something and you don't need to have the world hear it immediately, but I feel such a tremendous sense of urgency to put my stuff out.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Do you feel that way with what you do?
Yeah, I it is an interesting thing to think about. I feel like the reason why people do anything creative is so different for everyone. Like it sounds like your bandmates just want to play music. Like a very Ace
Yeah.
Frehley approach. Like he doesn't give a fuck about the costume. He just wants to play the fucking music. Um, I like to share. It's very isolating to it's cool for yourself, but at the end of the day, you want to share with other people. And I love supporting other people's stuff as well. I think it's so fun to watch people grow and see their like how they can be different people, especially when you're front face, like when you're on camera. It's cool to see how people can do their thing. Um, I definitely want to share this stuff. That's why I'm like tripping. I'm like, why is my post taken down? I want to see it.
Yeah, it would definitely just, yeah, it would hurt because curating what you put out is difficult.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
fucking
hard.
hard, and people don't realize how long it takes to do that as well. Like, it takes so long. I mean, if you're scheduling posts as well, it takes so long, and then you upload it with a fucking song, and then the song just gets removed, and then people
Yeah.
go, "Well, have you considered?" Like, I had it happen to me yesterday. Like, have you considered like adding a song to it? It might help the engagement. I was like, I did fucking add a song to it. The Instagram, the settings on Instagram just don't work. It's a broken application. It's
Mm.
still broken.
Mhm.
Like,
I don't know
yeah,
why they keep updating it. The new update with the DMs in the middle is bothering me so bad because I have to check my DMs, even the requests for work,
yeah,
and I'm like, this is messing with my flow. I can't.
yeah. They keep adding shit that isn't necessary, and they're doing it. It's like it's become purely aesthetic. It's no longer about functionality, which is what, like, I guess, like Steve Jobs, like the whole thing was that it would be functional. You know what I mean? Like, this all has a
Yeah.
purpose, but now it's just,
But if
changing the
Instagram
layout.
is, if they're listening, though, we do like them, and we want them to put my post back up and stop giving me copyright strike. I'm in the video.
Yes, and Instagram, if you're listening, what I want for Christmas is I just want, yeah, my post to be at the top of everyone's feed again. I don't
I'm
even
sick
want,
of that
yeah.
algorithm. What happened to the timeline being a timeline? That would be cool.
I'm not even gonna get into like shadow banning and stuff, but I do know that that would affect your work. I mean, at least like if you're putting stuff with gore, that video that you were talking about, Instagram could see that and go, no, you know what I mean? Like, too aggressive.
Yeah. And they didn't. It's so random because it's just so entirely random. But it is kind of interesting to watch what gets pushed because
Yeah.
sometimes things will get pushed days afterwards. And I'm like, what? That now you're acting like TikTok. You're not even acting like Instagram anymore. What's happening?
Yeah, it's a different kind of beast. I don't understand. I've seen some crazy, crazy stuff, and it's come up on this show a lot. I've interviewed a guy who he got charged with obscene comics when he was in Miami. So he's the only person to ever get prosecuted for drawing. His name's Mike. I need to find his fucking last name, but he's really cool. And I had him on the show, and I've had another guy as well who like does artworks for like Vice and stuff, like the editorial magazines, like back in the day. And
Mhm.
again, super gory stuff, and you
Oh,
you do see these people sometimes, like, for some reason it makes it on the algorithm, and then most of the times it doesn't. But it feels like the algorithm is also changing and becoming more. I think this is my call. The algorithm is getting more desensitized to its own self. Like, we're already desensitized to violence. The algorithm is getting desensitized to violence, and it's getting used to it. So maybe it has a threshold of how violent something can be, or a particular type of violence.
yeah. I really truly just don't even get it. It doesn't make any kind of sense to me. Um,
It's the same
what
with nudity as well. I've seen full nudity on Instagram now, which you never would have seen before, and it's very difficult. I mean, people have creative ways of going around it, but there's times where it's just full nudity as well, and I'm just like, well, yeah, at what point, like, what values does Instagram have exactly? What is its like rule book? I couldn't tell you. And it
Actually,
like,
something put my post back up.
yeah, and it totally does affect the art that people make. Like if you're having to consider what will make it through the gateway, I don't think Patti Smith was thinking about this shit, back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't think she could have to do a lot of the stuff that she did. So it's a shame that now like we are yeah, we're definitely like our art is definitely taking like a toll, and we're definitely paying a price in some way because we used to have TV networks censor us.
Mhm.
Like if I write a jingle for like a like a commercial or some shit, obviously I can't say the word shit, or fuck in it, and that's a shame because most of my songs, the catchiest parts, have those two words in it.
Right.
So
I think also, not that it's that you have to, because you shouldn't have to, but it does help to practice just like surrendering yourself to what's like, okay, for some reason it's not meant to be that way anymore, and just moving on and not getting caught up in like, but why isn't it exactly the way I want it to be?
good point.
And
Yeah.
just moving on. Because I hope 3, 5 years from now, everything I have on my page right now won't be there. I hope it's something completely so much better that it doesn't even matter. I won't give a crap
Really,
about anything on there. Yeah.
that's such an interesting take on like your legacy.
It's always gonna, well, that seems like a uh also kind of, legacy's a crazy word, but it's always gonna be there, but like, and Paige being almost, it's really weird how like we put ourselves on, we've made these things ourselves, these things
Yeah.
being social media, like this is a direct reflection. I mean, it really isn't. Like all these things still exist outside of me, it's just what I'm choosing to share. So I hope in 3 to 5 years what I'm choosing to share maybe has nothing to do with that at all. maybe i'm maybe I'm a writer now, I don't know. Like you evolve as a person, and I think that's really cool. And also, again, a good practice to not get so caught up, because I think it's really easy when you feel super, or maybe not super, out of control with the way that the landscape of being an artist is. It's easy to get caught up on like it has to be this way, and it doesn't. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And you're right. Like it is all, I mean, everything is temporary to an extent, even, legacy, as Mike Tyson famously said. And I feel like, yeah, we do get caught up on trying to curate this like perfect kind of page, but again, like back in the day, there wasn't this like, what is it, 4x4, 3 by whatever, these like blocks that you would put your whole personality into, and you have to follow what other people's blocks look like too. Otherwise, you
Mhm.
won't make it. Because it is important to look at what other people are doing, but I think that there's like a something that gets lost in that translation is the idea that like you learn from like the essence of what they do, not the
Mhm.
aesthetics or the literal, copy pasting of that. Because that's what AI will never understand is it just copies the aesthetic. It doesn't have the soul or the conceptual backing behind it. So, you know, I don't, I've reached a point now. I think this is what growing up is, becoming an adult is realizing that, yeah, AI is going to, destroy lots of things, but at the same time, it'll never destroy the spirit because it only knows how to copy. It only knows how to like compare. It doesn't know how to actually, create something with,
Great.
yeah, it
So
doesn't know how
true
to
though.
create.
I had a campaign ripped from my portfolio, like my student portfolio. They like it was a rip. It was just like a direct rip from that, and thought that was insane.
Really? Like when you say direct rip, you mean,
Layout,
oh, like,
like layout, font, concept. They
mm,
just like took out basically the copyright part of the concept because it was a spec
seriously?
campaign, so I can use copyright stuff. Like it didn't matter, but they
Yeah.
basically just replaced that with something else, and it was crazy.
But
Again, I would love
that's
to talk to you when I can actually tell you what brands and people these are.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But that's really scary though, especially when it comes to like advertising, right? Like things
mhm.
with a specific goal. Because and I'm not saying advertising is a heartless industry. It's not. There's creativity, there's spirit, there's spontaneity. There's a lot that goes to it, right? And there's a lot to
Mhm.
what it takes to make like a good advertisement is also really special and artful in itself. But it also has a motive. You are trying to do something, and it's not like you're not necessarily just trying to make people feel something. You're trying to make people
Mhm.
do something, which is to buy or to click or
Yeah.
to go. And so AI does know how to do that task. And that gets really scary that it not only takes the aesthetics, which is the human part, but it also would know how to kind of like, it doesn't, yeah, I mean, you've literally done the work for AI in that regard, like
Mhm.
directly. because there was a
And it
director.
said, it literally said the campaign was made by AI, which is how I knew that it was AI that did it. And I was like, that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I just saw that all my animator friends are fucking losing their shit because Walt Disney just announced a collaboration with AI. With like, yeah, and it's like a scary. I mean, look, I haven't watched a Pixar movie in a hot minute, but I don't want to see, I don't want to see that shit.
It just makes me so sad because there's already such a like oversaturation of things and options right now that I can't even imagine if that actually becomes applicable, how quickly they can push out stuff like a kid show. If a kid has a new show every single week, I don't think that's good. Like I don't know, it just doesn't make
No,
sense
it's
because we would
not. You
fall in love.
can't really.
I was a SpongeBob girl and I was a SpongeBob girl the whole time. There wasn't SpongeBob and then this and then this and then this and then that. Like you had loyalty.
Yeah, and you had time to build that like relationship with the character. But if
Yes,
you're
me and
like,
SpongeBob.
but there's no, what really scares me is that you and I aren't affected by, Italian Brainrot, which keeps coming up on the fucking podcast. But I mean, dude, sorry, they sell it. They sell the trading cards not only in Korea, obviously. I was just there and they sold them there. They sell them next to my house at the 7-Eleven, dude. Come on, man. Like, they don't need to be at the 7-Eleven, dude. Like,
No,
well,
they have like stuffed animals here and like
but
little trinkets and stuff.
kids can't possibly be like watching brain rot and forming the same kind of connection with, Tung Tung Sahur as they do with, Mickey Mouse. I'm not saying Walt Disney, he's not a good guy, but those characters had heart.
I'm about to start crying, I think, actually.
Yeah, you're crying on command. You're practicing a skill. I just don't see, but what scares me about this conversation is that
And
kids,
not us being scared about it.
I'm scared about it.
Oh my god. No, not ballerina cappuccino.
Yeah, I'm scared about a kid getting to my age and having emotional connections with the aforementioned ballerina cappuccino. I'm
Do
scared.
they?
I
Do
don't
they
know. We'll
though?
have to ask them when I'm like 45.
Oh my god.
And
We're
I've been
so
reading
bad.
this book on comics. It's like a metaphysical study on comic books. And it tells you about how like the simpler the face is to draw, the more universal it is, right? These are
Mhm.
simple figures, but they still look AI. They will never be human. A human mind couldn't draw it in that particular proportion.
Maybe we should start trying to do that. We can outsmart the AI.
I don't think we
Make
can
even
because there
more.
would be no need to put a face on a cappuccino or a flat white and give it legs and shit.
I
I
don't
just
maybe
don't
they're
think.
onto something. I don't know.
No, I think I'm losing my mind, which is why, we're even talking about something so stupid, on an arts podcast. But unfortunately that's where we're at.
I, yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping they use it back to Disney with their AI things. I hope they use it to be helpful in some kind of way. I don't know.
We'll
I just
definitely
hope that
go.
that doesn't equate to just like constant. They can't. They have to make brands because they have to sell stuff.
Again, this is not really showing my age, and I don't want to say this word on my podcast. Maybe I'll bleep it, but there's a Skibbity Toilet movie. I think it's
No.
directed by Michael Bay as well.
No.
So I don't know if that's
When?
bullshit. I should really do my research if I'm supposed to be a journalist, but I it is like it's a real thing, and yeah, kids probably will be forming attachments to these characters and these properties, and they'll probably be coming to a cinema near you.
I don't like it because SpongeBob is still like a thing. We're
He is a
still like
thing, but
there's
he's
big billboards.
also. We had the SpongeBob movie. If we're gonna break this down, we had the
There's
SpongeBob
another
movie.
one coming out.
There is another one coming out, which is cool. It's like the 3D one and stuff like that. There's also a SpongeBob live action.
And the SpongeBob musical with
Well,
Ethan
that's I
Slater.
think I think that's the live action with the guy
Uh,
from Wicked. The Tin Man
yes.
plays the yeah. I mean, we've already started to divide what SpongeBob is. Like he used to be a cartoon. Then I guess David Hasselhoff was in the live action, and then now we've got all this other stuff. But yeah, SpongeBob still retains its own like quality. I think the creator is not even alive anymore. I think he
Mhm.
died like a
Mhm.
while ago. So maybe they should have stopped it at that point. Simpsons is still around. Why the fuck is Simpsons still around?
I don't know. I don't think the Italian brain rot people are gonna be like that though.
Oh, true, dude. There's always a cat on the podcast now. I don't know. I guess because they're through Zoom. There's always a cat that makes it onto the podcast. What's that cat called?
Tabby.
Hey, Tabby. Welcome to the show. We'll draw you on the cover as well.
Well,
You've made it in.
she's almost 18, and I had
That's
to get her
crazy.
a lion cut recently, so she looks a little crazy.
Yeah, well, see, that's a real animal with real feelings, and we can have attachment to that. So thank you, Tabby, for proving my point. Um, Before we wrap up, I always ask people on the podcast, and thank you again for the chat. I appreciate the the tangent that we've gone on.
I
Um,
hope it's good.
yeah, we'll see. It's not up to us to decide. That's the
No,
beauty of art.
I'm probably gonna get copyright.
Yeah, maybe. It hasn't happened yet, and so on the 70 episodes down, I still haven't gotten copyright strike. Um, but I wanted to ask you the same question I ask everyone. What sort of advice would you give an up and coming creative?
Someone pursuing that or like wanting to go into the same thing that I do is to just do. Wake up every single day and do what you think the person you want to be would do. And you don't have to be right. You can embarrass yourself, you can fail. There's a lot of I don't know if I like the word fail, but there's a lot of missteps that happen, but as long as you just keep pushing,
Mm.
certain things are going to click and then they're going to keep clicking and then you get the outcome that you want. I don't think there's any harm that can come out of just trying, but consistently. Just do it. No one's going to do it for you. Not to Nike everybody.
Yeah.
But go, do it, do.
Well, you know the expression, you know where that comes from too, right? Just do it.
I forgot. We did learn in school.
Yeah, it came from a. This is such a downer. I don't know why I brought this up. It should just end of the funny. It's because they executed this like serial killer, um, and he was on the electric chair, and they said just do it. He's like any last words like just do it, and there was an advertising person in that room who saw it and was like, "Yup,
Sounds like an ad man.
yeah, the original Chat GPT." But
um,
yeah, you're right. Like just do it, and consistency is like key as well. Just making sure that you are, and not burnout levels of consistency, but like every month or something, you're doing something.
something.
Yeah.
Even if it's taking care of yourself. Like I'm like, what would someone who wants to be an actress do on their day off? Maybe they'd go explore a new part of town. You like learn new things about
Mm.
things, like live life to have some frame of reference. That's important too. Like downtime is just as important as doing things also, so
Yeah,
that
because
you're human.
at a certain point, it would be similar in acting as it is for just like writing lyrics and making
Yeah.
movies. Like you need life experience. Like work
Mhm,
experience is good, but it catches up to you at a certain point when you overwork and you have to go back and
mhm,
reset.
mhm. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of in that stage right now.
Yeah.
Like moving here, I've finally been like, I need to reset my nervous system and come at things with a fresh eye in 2026.
I'm the
Um,
same
yeah,
as well.
because it starts to get loud. It's just a lot, and then I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I need to reset.
For sure. That's a really good piece of advice. And actually a really good yeah, I know I said 2026, but this will probably come out next week. We've still
We
got time.
lied.
We lied. But I do think that that is like a really positive thing going into because this year has been super hectic. For, at least for me,
Mhm,
it's been incredibly hectic. I'm sure it's been super hectic for you as well. And it's one of those things where like I look back on it and like I've never put out more music. I've probably put out like 35. Like I've written at least like 35 or 40 tracks this year
that's
over like
crazy.
three projects. Directed like six music videos. Like it's a
Oh my
lot,
God.
but it's never felt like that. Like that isn't what made the year hectic. That's actually what made the
Mhm,
year passable. You know what I mean? Just that outlet of it's a reflection of my stress levels to have made as much art as I have made. So, a bit of
mhm.
stress is good. Too much stress, basically, yeah, burnout and no art for anyone. But
Good
yeah,
time for self-reflection and appreciation for yourself because we're doing it. We're doing the thing.
I mean, yeah, we're doing the thing right now. Anyway, thank you, Lauren. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, you too. It was nice talking to you.